Brothers and sisters, Chaplain here. It has been less than 2 weeks since the Citadel DLC was released. The reception has truthfully been all over the place, but the general consensus based on what I've read on the retake site suggests that it's pretty good. After extensive research on YouTube, the Chaplain decided to purchase it. Once I did, I could not stop laughing from start to finish. There are just so many great jokes, it is impossible to name them all. Aside from some seriously wonky combat, and a plot that's ridiculous even by some of your own party's point of view, it's pretty enjoyable. The combat is unbalanced, and very brutal on insane difficulty, even at character level 57+. People have criticized the DLC as being very expensive, and have questioned whether the price reflects the amount of new content added. While the actual gameplay is very short, the entire campaign can be completed from start to finish in about 3 hours or less, even on Insane, but it's what takes place after the events where the DLC really shines. For example, Shepard can compete in the arena, similar to the multiplayer campaign, with simulated combat, i.e. you don't die, if you fail, you merely restart. The tune that plays is strikingly reminiscent of the classic Monday Night Football theme from ABC, which added a bit of topical humor. The Chaplain sunk a couple hours alone into the highly addictive and customizable section of this DLC. You can pick from any combination of all of your squad members across all 3 games. If you ever wanted to see what would happen if Rex and James fought side by side, for instance, you could. Once I got my fill of the arena, the Chaplain decided it was time to throw the much talked about party. This is where the quality of BioWare's writing has finally resurfaced, in this one's humble opinion. It's too bad it took so fucking long and a goddamn revolution to bring it about. They apparently pulled their heads out of their collective asses and delivered comedic moments that rival popular movies such as The Hangover. All in all, the Chaplain enjoyed this little romp, and it serves to break the tension at the expense of narrative structure. So why is the Chaplain speaking about this? I've read posts from our brothers and sisters that I frankly find disturbing. Many loyal retakers who have been members for a long time have come under attack for expressing their like of the DLC. Some have gone so far as to insult the intelligence of the player in question. The Chaplain categorically condemns these acts. We live in a democratic, free-thinking, capitalist society. For an individual to have their loyalty to the movement questioned because they like the DLC is completely and utterly unacceptable and must be discouraged in the strongest terms possible. Many arguments have been made against the DLC, and you know what? I don't disagree. In fact, I agree with many of the anti-Citadel sentiments made. It just wasn't enough to stop me wanting to get it. The Chaplain and many individuals like me did extensive research to ascertain whether the DLC was worth purchasing. Many of those same people then went on to purchase it based on their own favorable view of the DLC. So does that mean that BioWare is exempt from criticism? By the opposite coin, should gamers be forced by their peers to purchase this DLC? The answer to both questions is no. If you want to criticize the DLC, go ahead. If you want to utterly bash it and say it was an overpriced piece of shit, I'm not going to stop you. Why should I care? I didn't write it. But to question people's devotion to the cause, to attack people for exercising their rights as responsible consumers, the Chaplain draws the line. Drawing attention to the frankly comical and vastly amusing statement by Jessica Moranson, who stated the majority never rules, let's make that statement a lie. Let's exercise a little democracy away from BioWare's fascist regime of censoring those who offer constructive criticism of their works. Democracy means that the majority rules, but the minorities are protected. If we fail to do that, then we become as bad as our enemies at EA BioWare, and that is something that the Chaplain will never abide. To those demonizing pro-DLC fans, the Chaplain issues this caution: respect existence, or expect resistance. If the behavior of attacking individuals amongst our own community instead of entering a respectful Paragon debate continues, the Chaplain prophesizes a dark time for us. The community will tear itself apart with infighting if respectful behavior is not strictly enforced. That hasn't happened yet, but unlike BioWare, the Chaplain prefers to get in front of a problem and head it off before it becomes a catastrophe. Again, the Chaplain is not here to sing praises to BioWare and the DLC, merely offer my own personal opinion of the Citadel DLC. In short, Citadel DLC doesn't suck, but it's not for everyone, and I respect that as long as you can respect my opinion, because at the end of the day, I know beyond a shadow of a doubt, I'm not the only one who shares this view. Continue to hold the line, but do so respectfully, or everything we have fought and won won't be worth a thing. Kila Salai, my brothers and sisters.